What's going on, everybody? John Ramdeen and Robin Black here in the guts of the T-Mobile Arena, the Octagon in the background, and it has been made official. It looks like Canadian great George St-Pierre will move up to 185 pounds to take on the reigning champion and one of the bad guys of mixed martial arts, Michael Bisping. You had a chance to talk to Michael Bisping. I talked to George St-Pierre. How friggin' cool is this fight?
Yeah, oh, so cool. This fight is great. And Mike's a lunatic. He is a lunatic, and we love him. And he and George, they're both good dudes, and they both respect each other. But they're just very, very different types of human beings. Mike is this reckless, crazy guy with poor impulse control, and George is a very reserved Canadian cat. And you put them together, and they're going to travel. Dana's going to take them around the world to Canada. We'll have them up in Toronto, and they're going to go sit together in a room, and they're just going to get better at insulting each other, which is going to amuse the millions. But ultimately, they have to fight each other. And what they say, if it's entertaining, that's all fine and good. The reality will happen when you put the two of them in the cage for 25 minutes.
And that's what it comes down to. Like I said, you talked to Mike, I talked to George St-Pierre, and these guys love the fight from a martial arts standpoint. They understand because Bisping and GSP, two huge names in mixed martial arts, they'll get their fair shake at the gate and their pay coming out of whatever the event is. Some people are saying July, some people are saying September. Dana White says the fight is going to take place in Las Vegas. I know both guys like fighting there. But when you think of this fight from a martial arts standpoint, I know everybody's throwing around, oh, George St-Pierre getting the takedown on Michael Bisping. Very, very difficult because Bisping's been in this game for so long. He's been training wrestling. He's been training anti-grappling. Why do people underestimate Michael Bisping's overall game?
I have no idea, and Mike has no idea. The dude beat Anderson Silva. He's the champion of the world. He took out Luke Rockhold. He avenged the worst loss in his record. He's been the underdog in every fight forever, and he will be forever. But he's a middleweight world champion fighting a guy who's been off for a couple of years. The reality of this fight will be told when they face each other. But the big question is what is George doing, and what has he been doing? We do know he's been playing around with distance and range and the outside game of traditional martial arts. We know that because we talked to him, and we talked to Faraz, and we know that Faraz, who's bringing up his brother, Eamon, and a few other key guys in there, their manipulation of range is what they've specialized in. So that's where that camp is thinking. That's something Mike will have to deal with, but you know what? He dealt with Luke Rockhold pretty damn good, and Luke Rockhold plays a very interesting southpaw game from the outside, too.
George St-Pierre told me that if the George St-Pierre of 3 years ago returned to the Octagon now, he wouldn't stand a chance. So he understands that there had to have been growth, and he's been training during this time. He got to live his life as a martial artist, acquiring knowledge and trying to utilize it and adjust it for his 35-year-old body. George
St-Pierre now would destroy the old best George St-Pierre. That's either true or that is untrue, and he is mistaken. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He believes that. We'll know that when he fights. If he comes shooting in there, gets that leg tap to that high underhook thing, throws Mike on his ass, starts elbowing him, we'll be like, oh shit, it's George St-Pierre. If Mike stuffs him and makes a little finger at him, and then suddenly it's like, sorry George, you're too small and I'm too good, that can happen. But we'll have to see it. It's fighting and discussing it and thinking about it. Our brains are going to marinate in this for months now. But the truth will be told when those two men touch each other's glove, if they do that, and then they fight.
I know a lot of people don't believe that George St-Pierre deserves this title fight. When you look at 185 pounds, people believe that it should be Yoel Romero. It should be Jacques Gray. But I think people are looking at the word deserving in a different way. They should look at George St-Pierre as one of the greatest fighters of all time. We're backstage. We're seeing some of the biggest names ever in mixed martial arts. George St-Pierre has done what he's done at 170 pounds. He's a huge name. This is a money fight. George St-Pierre deserves this fight with Michael Bisping. And I will tell you, as a fight fan, I can't wait to see all the action that will go down between these two legends of mixed martial arts.